We're back.
Wait a second.
Whoa!
I will take embarrassing things that shall never or that should never happen for 1,000.
Welcome, everybody. I'll make. You know what, Joe? I love you. I don't care. Welcome, everybody, to another amazing edition of the End of the Night, brought to you by none other than Film Hub. If you are an independent filmmaker, Film Hub is the tool, the resource for you to get your film out on several platforms. They're an enormous commodity to the independent film market and community, and they are just really wonderful to work with. I cannot suggest to filmmakers Film Hub more than I already do.
And also brought to you by Stream. I was about to say Stream Hub.
Dude, have you been drinking? Stream Hub? Stream Hub? Putting on credits from our 1956 show.
You know, this is what happens when we take 2 weeks off. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's also brought to you by StreamYard. People ask us how we keep our streams looking professional. It's definitely no thanks to me. It is thanks to StreamYard. Go give them a look.
And also at the beginning of the show, I want you to tell everybody about your beautiful wife and beautiful daughter's venture, because that's a great product.
Well, thank you. That would be Hearts of the Mystic Folk. They are doing the scented wax melts that are all natural. So please, if you have a chance and you're into scented wax melts, give them a look.
Wow, I'm telling you, we have a lot of people watching today. I want to say hi, John. Welcome to the End of the Night.
Yeah, you're going to have to go through these real quick.
Libby, I love you. It was great to see you. We were over the house recently. It was great to see you. Haven for Heroes. If you're ever in Pike County or Orange County, New York, check out Haven for Heroes. It's a wonderful comic book and pop culture store. In fact, Emmett was just here tonight to celebrate my wife's birthday. Love you, Emmett. I hope you're well. John, hello. Debbie sent you. Well, that's awesome. Debbie is wonderful, and we can't wait to talk to her in a few minutes. Good evening, Mr. Meany. I hope you're well.
Got a few more.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Smithson, I'm wearing your shirt, sir.
Oh, I saw it. Nice. And Sean, I hope you're well, brother. I miss you, and I hope to talk to you soon. Mr. Brooks, a wonderful finger. I hope you're well. We're going to have some wonderful guests, and we're going to just have a good time like we always do. Hey, CJ, I hope you're well. AJ, I hope you're well. I'm sorry. Yeah. So since we've been on, Joe, I got to take my daughter up to Massachusetts. Good evening, Ken. I hope you're well. I love your friends and foes. That's awesome. I got to take my daughter to her college for the first time. And it was unbelievable. She had a wonderful time. You make that shirt look good. I think he's talking to you because I don't make anything look good. I think my daughter made a wonderful friend. He was a brilliant kid, and we got to meet his parents, and we hit it off. They were just really cool people. So you know who you are if you're watching. You guys are awesome, and welcome to the End of the Night family. the show that this little mess that we put on every so often that, for some bizarre reason, attracts like a lot of cool people. Mr. Ridgely, I know I had some like cool stuff I wanted to talk about, but because it's already like 6 minutes after, I know there's something that you wanted to bring up, so I'm going to give you the floor to discuss what you have on your mind.
Well, thank you. All of those who have reached out to bring back the Indie Brigade, we're going to have a meeting Tuesday night at 9:15 p.m. Eastern. It's getting really exciting. A lot of people are getting into it, and hopefully we're going to build a new and better indie brand.
Oh, awesome.
Coming soon.
Anybody that we can, names that we could discuss, or is it all under the hat right now?
Let's keep it under the hat for the moment.
Okay, that's awesome. It was, as you know, Joe, I think I jumped on the Brigade pretty early, so I feel like I'm one of the I'm not on the Mount Rushmore, but I'm definitely I'm on the coinage probably. So I'm very happy to see that you guys got that up and running again. There's a wonderful community, and I loved everybody involved in it. So that's awesome. Joe, I don't know if you were able to put this up, but the producers of my next film, which comes out in October, sent me the first teaser poster. And this will be, it's, I didn't put it up anywhere, and I made sure they didn't put it up anywhere. Do you have it? Ladies and gentlemen, that's the first teaser poster for my upcoming motion picture, Full Moon Fever. Comes out this October. It's going to have a theatrical run, and I'm very, very excited about it. And there are some very, very notable people that notable people involved. And you know what's funny? I showed a clip of one of the werewolf attacks to one of my very favorite directors of all time, someone who's responsible for some of the greatest horror movies like Fright Night and Child's Play. And I'll let you I'll let you do the math on that. And he said that one of the werewolf attacks in the film he compared and said was more horrific and more violent than the bear attack in Leonardo DiCaprio's film The Revenant. I don't know if a lot of people seen that movie, but that was one of the greatest compliments I could have ever gotten, because I think if in that movie, if you saw The Revenant, that was one of the most horrific scenes in cinematic history about how. So I'm super excited. More to come. More information on who's involved. Mr. McKeever, thank you. I know you love werewolves. I know you have a werewolf picture that you're making. I'm super excited. Joe has it over. You know, he has everybody's movies but mine. I'm starting to take it personally.
And T-shirts.
And T-shirts, right? Yeah. I'm like, Joe, give me your address. I want to send you stuff. He's like, I don't live anywhere, Dave. I don't have an address. Soon. I don't have it. Oh yeah, that's true. So it's I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited about my film Middle Village, which was a documentary that had two hacks that you might know from this show. Brian O'Halloran, or actually three hacks from this show. Brian O'Halloran, of course, the beloved Dante from Clerks. Grunkle Scott, who's my co-host on this show. And yes, send me your address, Sean. I'll send you all kinds of goodies. Grunkle Scott, who's my co-host on this show, along with Grunkle Joe. And Gene Snitsky, who was on the show. Oh, and Ray Abruzzo. So 4 people from Middle Village who were on this show. My new film, my old film, but it's now available for you to check out on Tubi. So if anybody who's watching tonight wants to sit back and feel nostalgic and laugh at me, Brian, Scott, Gene, and Ray, go on Tubi and watch Middle Village. That would be awesome.
And so we have Matthew saying hot, and Sean saying I win the teaser poster. I called it first. CJ says I love the movie title, and now Ken's just kissing butt.
Wow, thank you, Ken. I know it's not true, but Yes, yes, yeah. We there were two scenes that took entire full days to shoot. The werewolf transformation scene, which took an entire day to shoot, and I was going to say bear attacks because I'm thinking of Reverend, but one of the werewolf attacks is pretty epic. So that's with that being said. Okay, I'm all out of breath now because I'm all excited about stuff. I'm gonna take a shot. I'm gonna take a snort of Coke. Okay.
That's all I heard pre-show.
With that being said, by the way, if anybody pops up in the green room, just you can introduce them and throw them on at any given time. Mr. Ridgely is our extraordinarily talented and lovely guest ready to join us. Can you?
She sure is. Did you want to touch base real fast on why Grunkle Scott isn't here?
Absolutely. I'm sorry. See, that's why I have you around, because I'm old and senile. Grunkle Scott, the beloved Scott Schiaffo, and believe it or not, Grunkle Brian, who are supposed to be on the show tonight because they're both really big fans of our guests. But at the last minute, they both got drawn out to the new Smod Castle, which is right next to the original Quick Stop where they filmed Clerks. And Kevin's having this enormous event, and as you could see, Grunkle Scott and Brian are out there right next to him, addressing the fans at an enormous event. So Grunkle Scott's very, very sad. He's an extremely loyal guy, and he was heartbroken that he couldn't be on our show tonight. But he will join us back here next week. I told him, listen, you can go hang out with, because they have all kinds of movie stars there tonight. You go to hang out with all those movie stars, or you can hang out with a buffoon like myself. So I told him to go hang out with those buffoons instead of this one. So it was, he's having a great time out there, and with that being said, that's awesome. I can't keep message. Up. Oh, what was that? Okay. Oh, wait, one more thing. We have something coming up this Halloween night, October 31st. And no kidding aside, I actually, just because most people, the scope and size of what's going on is so unbelievable that I had sent some information to Mr. Ridgely to verify what is going to be going on this Halloween on this very show. And I can't tell you yet what's going on, but it's going to be a historic Halloween night filled with just really an amazing, amazing episode with tons of horror celebrities and a historic, and when I say historic, a historic pop culture horror genre event. And I can give you 500 guesses, and you would never get what's going on that night. It's just truly an amazing event. A lot of people, there's a lot of working parts because a lot of people want to be involved in this, but that's going to be on Halloween night. So I'm super excited about that. And Joe, is there anything you want to say, because you got a little snippet of what's going on? And
all I can say is it is going to be epic. Nothing like you've ever seen or heard before. And I was actually talking to a Texas Chainsaw Massacre alumni today, and he's kind of interested in being involved if possible.
Absolutely. Anybody who wants to be involved, everybody's a part of the family on this show. And even when it's something enormous, everybody is a part of this, because this is really a historical event. I'm super excited about this, and we're going to announce it on August 1st. August 2nd is my birthday, which is on a Sunday. So awesome! We're going to have another epic birthday episode with probably 30 celebrities stopping by, like we did last time, and nice. And we'll just have a great time. Just wonderful stuff happening. Everybody who watches the show, we're going to have a blast. I don't want to keep our lovely and talented guest any longer. She's there you go. It's like people know what's going on that I assume was John Dugan now. Our guest tonight really needs no introduction in the horror genre, especially. She's an enormously talented actress, people who run into her at cons and meet her in person, all just is just a lovely human being, and just is really, everybody loves her. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Debbie Rochon.
I got to see if she still has a pulse. She might have got bored to death. Hold on a second. Nope, there she is.
Hello, everybody.
Apparently,
this is my pandemic look.
Apparently, Joe's breath is really that bad that.
So anyway, is it a safe room?
I don't know what that means.
Has everybody been tested?
I have not been tested, but I got the shot for the COVID, the Johnson & Johnson,
Wow.
probably about 5 months ago.
You are the only person I know to have the Johnson & Johnson.
I did that because I'm a chicken shit, and because it's the only one that had like the way that they administered and made that vaccination was similar to the ones that they've done in the past. So, hello, Mr. Robles, zing! It's my second shot for Thursday. John saying hello to you, Debbie.
John, hello again. How are you, John? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us.
So I've been trying to. Well, what happened? You switched us around.
I'm dizzy. What are you doing? I'm all over the place here. No, go ahead. Sorry. What were you saying?
I have no idea. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. You were saying something about it's been a struggle. Okay, first of all, well, we need to acknowledge the elephant in the room, if you will.
Okay.
Just think about how amazing of a job that Brian O'Halloran did. He created this whole event tonight with Kevin Smith and many others, just so he didn't have to be on with me.
No.
Mwah,
Let
that
me tell
was
you,
genius.
Miss
I mean,
Rochon.
to make that big of an event, that's off the hook. I feel very impressed. Thank you.
Let me be the first to tell you, Brian, actually, I'm haunted by Brian. He literally lives a couple houses away from me. And I assure you, I mean, we run into each other at the mailroom all the time because we live in like a place that has its own mailroom, and we run into each other. And he literally puts like glasses and a hat on when he sees me. It has nothing to do with you.
Honestly, I was joking until you told me earlier. I didn't even know that he was on this show, so it was just, I thought it was a funny thing to say. I've known Brian for a lot of years. He came on Fangoria Radio a long time ago, and they were promoting that comedy he did. The name of the comedy, Gunnar Hansen was in it.
Yes. The Stephen Mena, the director, was on this show. And David Naughton was the star.
Yes.
And it was called Brutal Massacre.
Thank you. I thought it was hilarious. I loved that movie.
And that was a great movie, and he's a funny guy. And Brian was he was all gung-ho. In fact, weekend before last, we got together at my house, and Brian was here, and Scott Schiaffo was here. And it was my daughter's graduation. And I said, hey, I got Debbie to come on my show on the 11th, and they were both super happy to both be on. And then literally, not only are they getting together for the big Smod Castle brouhaha they got going on in Jersey tonight, they're actually getting together to meet and convene about starting the filming of Clerks 3. So it's all really, really cool stuff.
That's so exciting. Yep. I mean, for them and for us, the fans. So.
Yes. And I don't know what happened to Joe Ridgely. He just decided, like, I'm going to tell everybody before we go any further tonight. I'm in Milford, Pennsylvania, and if you type that into AccuWeather right now, you'll see that I am under a tornado warning. So if I wind up in Kansas or I cut out, you're going to be stuck with Joe Ridgely ruining the show. But with that being said,
Joe's gone. If you're gone, then I'll just keep it going until you guys come back.
If anybody can do it, it's absolutely you. Joe, what'd you do? Go get a hair or bun or thing or something to put in there?
David, thank you for pointing out. Yes, I went and got a hair tie. I appreciate you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Very, very manly approach you're taking there, Mister.
Yeah.
With that being said, Debbie, I know you've had an amazing career. Is it over like 250 films now that you've been appeared in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Now, okay. What? Debbie Rochon's a young girl. She's in high school or even grammar school.
Didn't go to high school, but I follow. Yeah.
Okay. Debbie Rochon's in grammar school. That okay? Debbie Rochon's in grammar school.
Yeah, I'm back there.
What is she? What inspired her to become an actress, or was there an actor or actress back in the day that you said, I want to be like that person, or their work touched you in a way that made you want to do what you do?
Okay, 2 answers to that story. When I was a little girl, and I would have to look up the sort of like, the card that the teacher fills out, the report card, I guess, if you will. And I can't remember how old I was, very young. Anyway, it says all of these things, all these questions for you and the teacher. And I saw that as a very young child, I wrote, what do you want to do? And I put actor, and act. I think it was just act, right? Just act. And I don't even remember wanting to do that at that age. But long story short, it was, and people who know me know the story, so I'll keep it very brief. When I was homeless, so when I was an extra on a movie, it really gave me a lot of confidence and showed me that life could be different. It was possible. So I think doing that at such a young age, that sort of that gave me the desire to go ahead and get out there and study, do my thing, move to New York, live in New York, study, audition, and then get work.
That's awesome. Now, I see that when you were younger, you did things like Tromeo and Juliet, which was written by the great James Gunn, who's now one of the most powerful filmmakers in Hollywood. I don't know. I didn't get to look at every film that you ever made. Were you ever directed by Mr. Gunn in a movie?
You mean besides Tromeo and Juliet?
I think he wrote Tromeo and Juliet, where
he co-directed.
Oh, he did. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know if Lloyd.
Lloyd.
It says that Lloyd directed that, so I didn't know.
Right, but you know how it is. I mean, that was his first movie, and Lloyd is definitely the director, but he was the one who was rehearsing all of us actors and doing a lot of the directing of the actors on the set. Because his brother was in it, Sean, and a lot of people he knew, from Chicago, Valentine Mealy, who's amazing. Brought him in, and so many great actors in that movie. But yeah, so that was the only time. I mean, I went out when he was doing Slither in Vancouver, and I went out there and created this documentary, and it's on YouTube. It's free, easy to find, and I did this documentary on the making of Slither, behind the scenes and stuff. When there was such a thing in 2006-ish, there was such a thing as Fangoria TV that we were creating. So it was under the umbrella of that, and that didn't happen. But the documentary did, and it's on YouTube for people to watch if they want to see it.
Oh, sweet. Now, I know that back in the day you had this wonderful radio show, as I recall, with Dee Snider on Fangoria Radio, and you had a lot of connections with Fangoria. Are you still? Do you still work with Fangoria at all, or is that something that you're?
No, not at all. Not in any way, shape, or form. When it basically closed down before it was bought, by I can't remember his name now. Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas. I know who you
Dallas.
mean. Yeah.
Yep. It was like shut down for quite a while before he picked it up. And yeah, prior to that, I was the first woman to have her own column in the magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Did the radio show. Did a lot of producing for like the TV channel. That didn't end up happening, but they had worked on it, like I was saying, early on.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I did like a lot of stuff for a lot of years with them. I want to say 6 years. And yeah, when it ended, like the show had ended and Sirius was playing the repeats for about 6 months. They were waiting for us to come back. But because of some decisions within the company that was at that time, it couldn't afford to come back financially. So even though it was interesting that Sirius kept running repeats of the show to hold the spot, yeah, we just never, the company could never sort of like bring it back. So that was sad. And then the magazine ended and just moved on, really. I mean, it's kind of like what they say in radio, or at least they used to say, it's a different world with podcasts because you're in full control, right? But in radio, they used to say, you're not really in radio until, you lose your job or get fired. In other words, what they're saying is until you've like gone through the process of having like so many shows, and that's just the way it is. And you understand that if you're in it. So that's kind of the way careers are, I find. Like it depends what's going on right now, depends what you want to make happen right now, and you just go on with it and go down different roads, different avenues as they come up, ones that interest you. So, yeah.
That's awesome, man. And a dear friend of the show, and actually a dear friend of mine, grew up in Middle Village with me, Tony Timpone.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of fair to say that once Tony left Fangoria, it was kind of the writing on the wall that things were kind of going south. I don't know if everybody would agree with me on that, but that's just my personal opinion.
Well, I mean, I think Chris Alexander did an amazing job. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Chris's. He's doing Delirium magazine now. And his movies are super cool. So he's still, editing magazines and writing, and, he's
No, I know Chris is a great guy. Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm just sort of covering Chris. Yeah, very, very talented. But it wasn't, it was the a third party that, sort of created that divide where one went over the other, and the actual editors had nothing to do with it. It was just a bizarre series of circumstances. Yeah.
Yep. And what?
It was weird. A weird time.
No, absolutely. And an idea I'm trying to perpetuate on them, and they just are really rock-headed about it. The current regime doesn't really seem to have any passion for the independent horror film. They're always into the big studio, big budget horror films, and I'm trying to explain to them that if they showed a little love to some of the smaller indies, it would be advantageous to them, because there's a lot of those films that people are loving, especially now. But
I actually had no idea, so I don't know what they're actually doing now. The only thing I know is they're like 4 times a year or something like that.
Yeah, and they charge you like $25 a copy now, so it's crazy.
Yeah.
Matthew Santora said Slither with Sharon Stone. No, it's Slither with Elizabeth Banks. It was Elizabeth Banks, not Sharon Stone. But yeah, that was it.
He's thinking of, what was it? Silver? No.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what
you know. What I mean, right?
Sliver with a V.
Sliver, yes.
Sliver. Yeah, no, Slither. That had Rooker and Elizabeth Banks, and it was directed by James Gunn. And I know some schmuck who helped script doctor that movie. He looked a lot like me, but that's be that as it may. That was a fun flick. Where the hell was I going with this, John? Joe, you are on the show.
John?
I called you John.
Hi, Joe.
I called him.
Debbie. I mean, it's great to see you. It really is.
Good to see you.
I don't know if the power went out for David or what, but the floor is yours.
Oh,
I got canceled really that quickly. We're like a demented Brady bunch.
Yes.
No, I will tell you, Debbie, because someone who's a dear friend of yours, all right, but is absolutely one of my biggest arch nemesis and my arch enemy, threatened to come onto this show tonight. So I'm afraid that this person might pop on at any moment. So I'm a little bit off my game. So I'm going to apologize ahead of time. What do you think, Joe?
All right. Your enemies.
I don't know, but Debbie's going to give you a few lessons in radio and podcasting. Dead air is a no-no.
Frenemy.
I
Is
should.
it a frenemy of ours?
No. I think she's a dear friend of yours.
She's a friend of me of his.
She wants to. I mean, she's I don't know. What do I know? What the hell do I know?
What do any of us know? Really? I mean, David, when it comes down to it, what are any of us talking about?
I have no idea. I'm just the pretty face around here, and Joe's all the talent.
Joe, how's it going, Joe?
Great. Thought I heard Dave for a moment, but
no. So, Debbie, there on this particular show, we have tons and tons of indie filmmakers who watch this. We actually call, we used to be part of a network called the Indie Brigade, and we still are.
Right.
And you have an amazing resume. What does Brandon say? Love Debbie and her work in American Nightmare and Billy's Cult. Strong performances. Can you tell us cool stories from each Debbie? I'm going to get back to you. Saw his question, but I just want to ask you this: is there anything you can share with our independent filmmakers out there about getting their projects done? Because that always seems to be the problem. Everybody seems to have an idea or wants to. What would you say to them who has something, independent filmmaker who has something really good on paper and and all the fire and drive to do it? What would you say to them to help ignite that flame?
Well, there's a few things. Number one is what everybody tells you and that you know is true, but it may or may not actually get you to go and do it, which is simply all the people that I know that have just, made a career, gone out there and done it are the people who have just literally done it. They haven't made it they haven't put so much pressure on themselves or the project to be so precious. And what I mean by, I don't mean not good. I mean, like they go out there, they get it done regardless, because it's all about repetition. That's how you grow as an artist. So you're not waiting for the perfect everything to come together, the right, the perfect DP. It could be the second or third perfect DP that you could get. Grab them, shoot it yourself. Do it over and over and over and over and over, because as a lot of you guys know already, that's where you meet people. Number one, I mean, that's how you're going to meet people, and that's how you're going to grow. So just actually really doing it. And I know everybody says it, easy to say, but guess what? Also easy to do in this day and age, because we can all edit on our laptops and our desktops, and some people can do it on their phone. And, we all have access to cameras and cheap lighting. I'm not saying these things are, do it cheap if you don't have to, but just do it. And, I'm just saying that because the amount of people that I know that have just talked about wanting to do things for really their whole lives, and I really do mean that. They're still talking about things like 2 decades later. And I just think to myself, well, it's such a shame that they just didn't do it, and just, or it's like, don't do it for the wrong reasons. Like there's a lot of people who just do things for, ego-driven reasons. And I think that shows too. I think, have something to say, know what you want to say or show in your project. If it's you, in fact, that's heading one up, have something to say. Because not only have I been in a lot of movies, but I've done a lot of viewing for film festivals. So I could tell you that the movies that stand out are the ones who aren't just unique in perhaps story, but they really do have something to say. So what is it that you want to say? One of the first things that was told to me as an actor that I didn't understand because I was too young, but I came to understand extremely well. A teacher said to me, go out, just walk around and figure out how you feel about things. In the real world, go for a walk, go to a museum, go to all these places. When I was a teenager, a young person, and didn't even know anything, certainly was not in touch with my own feelings because, I'd been in denial for so long because that's what you do when you're dealing with pain. So you go into denial. But this teacher said, just literally, how do you feel about things? Find out who the hell you are, and then you can actually have something to say. So, sort of general advice, but amazing advice.
No, absolutely. It's absolutely about digging deep inside of yourself and finding the story that you want to tell. And another thing I'd like to share, the great thing about film and filmmaking is that if you don't look at it as a business, but if you look at it as an art, there's an artistic community of people who want to be involved in that kind of thing. And it's kind of like throwing an enormous party and everybody wants to be invited to it. That's the beautiful part of it. So if you have something that has great words on paper and some talented people attached to it, then people are going to want to be involved. And don't be scared. I mean, I grew up 1985, August 2nd, 1985, my birthday. My brother Bob took me to go see Fright Night at the Angelica Film Festival. Not the Angelica Film Festival, the Angelica Theater.
Theater, yeah.
Yeah, in New York City. And I was blown away. I was enamored with that film as a kid. I was 15 years old when it came out, and I was just blown away. And I was really loved Stephen Jeffries as Evil Ed in that picture. So when I got old enough to finally make a movie and had all the things, the materials I needed to make a motion picture, I went and I wrote Stephen Jeffries and I sent them a script and I said, will you be in my movie? And, what's the odds of you write somebody that they're actually going to show up and do the movie? And he read the script and thought it was fantastic and was thrilled to do the movie. And I try to explain that to independent filmmakers all the time. Actors want to act. Stunt people want to do stunts. People who make music for movies want to make music. I mean, I called up my pal Huey Lewis to do the soundtrack for Mr. Hush, and all of a sudden, a single came out for Mr. Hush by Huey Lewis. So, I mean, it's just a matter of if you want to do something, be brave about it. Never take criticism to heart. My film, when my distributor put out the first art of my film, Mr. Hush, they clearly stole the art from Trick or Treat, my distributor. And I understand why they did that, because when you sell films on to Redbox, they literally have a little tiny 3x5 square on the side of Redbox that sells your movie. So they want I have that word. I can never say that word, but familiarity. I don't know why I can't say that word. Been roaming the planet since the dinosaurs have been here, but I can't say that word. So right out the box, because it's such a passionate community, people started saying bad things about my film. What do you got going on there? Like a moth?
Yeah, well, a number of them, because it's very dark.
Right.
I've got bright lights, and I don't have AC, and it's extremely hot here. So you have to keep that in mind. So the windows obviously are not closed. I have screens, but sometimes, and they're so drawn to the lights, like a moth to the flame. During your story, it was all coming to life over here.
Yes, and my story was so incredibly boring that moths came.
Moths are like,
They're gonna fly. they're gonna fly from your frame into my frame.
Oh,
and,
that would be awesome.
And kill me because my story sucked that badly.
No, that's funny. I hope they do.
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
Mothra, perhaps me and the moth is going to,
I
what
think
I mean?
I think that movie might have been made already.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? I'm looking at your filmography, and there is just so many wonderful films here that I've seen a bunch of them, and I just don't know which one I want to talk about.
Flabbergasted.
I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that your friend and my arch nemesis, I think she's not going to come on because she told me she would. Is she in there, Joe? Rat fake.
This is what she does.
So you know who she is, right?
Yes.
She's evil.
Carrot tease. That's how it goes.
She
Gotta
walks.
roll with David.
Believe it or not, Debbie, she walks around, and this is no joke, with a giant cutout of my head. Giant. Like 4 foot cutout of my head.
This is true. We saw this live. It was kind of scary.
And it horrifies me. And so I guess now, seeing that, there's only like 10 minutes of show left, I guess she's going to,
What?
Yeah. Can you believe it? That's the magic of this show. It goes by so
Wait. Did we have fun? I mean,
absolutely. Wait. Before we go any further.
Yeah.
I actually once interviewed Jimmy Carter, and it was easier to get him on my show than it was you. You're very difficult.
See? Really?
I love you to death. But this Halloween, I'm going to give you a lot of notice, like a super duper amount of notice. Mm-hmm. October 31st of this year, on this very show, something is going to occur that I will tell you off camera, so that is going to be the talk of the entire genre for years to come. And I would be honored for you to be one of our celebrity guests that night, if you are free, of course. So I'm giving you.
What day of the week is it?
Perhaps? It's a Sunday night.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah. So if you're doing a convention or something, you could just weasel up into your con room like I would, and come on up. Come on up. It's going to be. Hopefully everybody's out working again.
It's going to be crowded. Like right now, it's the three of us. We've got lots of room.
What's the most people we've had on this show, Joe?
I believe 10 or 12.
We've had 12 people on this show before.
Can I will myself down?
We make it like a Brady Bunch box. You'll love it.
Oh,
there you go. Joe,
I'm going to will myself to where David is.
Oh, look at that.
Boom.
And Joe's going to will me off the show in a moment.
There you go. Joe, you're good. You're good, Joe. Yeah. Just testing. I want to see my superpowers. Now I know what they are. I could will myself around a screen, my box around, so to speak. Well, me and my box around a screen. That's all I'm saying.
She has the
So, do you remember where we actually first met? Do you? You probably have no clue.
I do remember. Was it? I want to say it was. Was it Long Island or Jersey?
No, it was Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
We were at that cool show that was done in like the lobby of like a 1940s movie theater.
Yeah.
Do you remember? That was a cool show. No, it wasn't Altoona. It was Erie.
Oh, Erie.
Erie.
It wasn't the Erie Film Festival.
I think so.
Was it?
I think so. It was the show's promoter. Dad would sell old VHS tapes on the bottom floor.
I think so.
I think you, me, and O'Halloran were there.
Okay. Yeah.
You and O'Halloran.
That was.
You want to know you.
A bit back.
Yes. It was almost 10 years ago. I was going to say
Hi,
Les
Lee.
Claypool.
Hi,
Les
Lee.
Claypool is somebody famous, right?
Yes, he is. He's
It's
a
from,
photographer.
No, I thought he was from like Primus or something.
He's an amazing photographer, actually.
She's
sending-
talking about the
Yeah.
person who's saying
There's
hi.
a lot of talented people watching. John Wood does illustrations, like
Sweet.
cartoons for newspapers. There's all kinds of people. All kinds of people.
Actually, there's a wonderful.
Brandon is like a famous director. The guy sent in the question, and who is a big viewer of your show.
You have to look out for a filmmaker named Libby McDermott, who's watching this show right now. If she ever sends you a script, or all kidding aside, I honestly think she's going to be the next David Lynch. She has an unbelievable amount of talent in storytelling and pacing, in atmosphere. She really, really is an amazing filmmaker, and that's why she'll never work with me again, because I'm cheese whiz. But she's just an amazing filmmaker. All right, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, and I'm going to tell. Did you really know who I was talking about when I said that somebody was going to pop on?
Yes.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I did.
Okay. I'm going to call you out because you said you were going to come on, and you're a fink, and you should be driving by the moon on your broomstick right now. Well, I won't say it. Everybody knows who it is.
You know what? Oh, let me say it for you. You know what? This is what we say to one another. You are an outstanding AA. That's where I'm going to leave it.
And I don't know what AA means. Now, is that directed at me, or is it directed at...
No, her.
Okay.
She'll know. We made this group together.
Mm?
Actually, you showed that picture, and we actually did it on the set of Wrath of the Crows.
Oh, sweet.
And we made this sort of elite group of assholes. And AA is American asshole.
Oh.
Both American, both assholes. So we actually were AA, and then we kind of added one more A because it really wasn't about being addicted to alcohol. So we said American Asshole Association, so AAA.
Oh, Shane Terry
So
said...
we created this group. We even have a logo for this group. And she even sent me, by the way, in all seriousness, sort of like a tracksuit, like a jacket and pants that had American Asshole and my number.
Wow.
Yeah. It's true.
Would you happen, Joe, by any chance, to have one of the giant head pictures?
I would not.
Okay. I don't know what... I mean, Debbie, she's just cruel to me. And for some bizarre reason, I don't know, she's always picking...
She can get to any man she wants to get to. That's all I'm going to say. She's got this special power, superpower, really.
That was
she
a nice...
has the ability to do that.
Put CJ's words back up there, Joe. The first 11 minutes of Wrath of the Crows is out of this world. Too much for me. LOL. That's a bold statement.
Yeah, of course.
CJ liked.
It is pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy. Yeah.
So Debbie, tell us what. Can I call you Debbie? I'm sorry, I've been calling you Miss Rochon all night, and all of a sudden, like,
didn't even notice.
then all of a sudden, like a schmuck, I'm just like, Debbie, we're old friends.
Look,
Come
I
on
got a
over.
huge-
Let's have a pizza.
I got a huge moth. Oh my God, you wouldn't believe it. It's like, what in the good? Sorry. This really is like an amazing assortment. Like they're getting bigger and bigger. It's lucky we're wrapping it up because pretty soon there'll just be one that comes like right across, and that'll be it.
Takes up the entire screen.
So, anyway, sorry, David, go ahead.
So I know you have a bunch of really wonderful stuff cooking. So what do you have coming up for everybody out there who loves Debbie Rochon?
Okay, well, thank you for having me on first.
It was my pleasure.
But, thanks to you both, David, Joe, and everybody behind the show, behind the scenes. And Okay, so listen to Obscurities. It's a narrative podcast that I do. Amazing stories that I tell. True stories, different, weird, wacky, and beyond. It's easy to find. Just go to my website, and they're coming. They're coming. I got to wrap this up. They're coming for me. They really are. So, a band, a movie, Banned. The first movie I was ever credited for, ever. I'd worked on movies, but it was the first credited role. Is coming out for the first time in 33 years. Next year, it's being remastered right now. It was cut together. It was finished. Last movie directed by Roberta Findlay, for those of you who know her. And so that's coming out. That's pretty exciting. I got some new stuff coming out, some new stuff being done in just a couple weeks and next month as well. So that'll all be in the works. So actual dates, I think the bottom line is just go to debbierochon.com because it's all listed there. It's like easy way to find the information. Ouch.
Sweet. Do you have any big cons coming up?
Well, I'm doing the Halloween-a-palooza in Iowa in Halloween
Oh, sweet.
weekend.
It's Halloween weekend?
No, I apologize. I believe it's the first weekend in October.
That's awesome.
I have to post that. So, yeah, I have a few. Slowly, they're coming in. Like people are saying, "Hey, we can travel. This is amazing. We can get together. We can start doing things again." So people are really starting to, make movies and do conventions and all this stuff. For the longest time, I don't know about you guys, but there was like so much Zoom stuff. I mean, it kind of like changed the terrain, but in a good way, because even though we can all go back to work, we can go back to conventions in person, I think we've all learned to become really accustomed to the whole video, audio world. And so therefore, a show like yours, you certainly don't have to have somebody in person. I mean, you didn't have to before the pandemic, mind you, but you know what I'm saying is that, people have become so savvy because of the pandemic that I think actually it's just it made things better for everybody.
I'm going to tell you a story that's going to make you laugh at me. I got invited to Big Apple Comic Con, which is right across the street from Madison Square Garden. It's a rather big con in New York City.
Penn Station.
Yeah, right across the street in the theater. Mike Carbonaro is the guy who runs it. Great guy. Grew up in Middle Village with me. I got invited to do the con July 17th, which is, I guess, next weekend. And because of COVID, listen to how this is going to make you laugh even more to show you just how pathetic this middle-aged sap is. Because of COVID, my wife and daughter forbid me to go.
Oh.
Now,
and when is it?
It's Saturday, July 17th.
This coming Saturday.
Yes, he invited me probably back in April or May, and I guess COVID was a lot more rampant then. So and now I feel like a big schmuck because I really wanted to go.
You can't still go?
I mean, I'm just going to kind of pop up on him, a week before is not the cool thing to do. But I don't know.
Yeah. Well, look, it was, and in a lot of countries and areas in our countries, it's a scary thing. I mean, it is. Like, I don't think that's something to fool with. I mean, I'll put it to you this way. I would not want to get it if I had a choice. I mean, nobody would, but trust me, it's like nothing you want to fool around with. If you can help it at all. That's why I got fully vaccinated. I mean, that's my choice. Everybody has their choice. But for me, it's like, why not do everything you can to not have to deal with long-term effects from something like that?
No, I totally get it, and I'm a diabetic, so I'm sure that's what like horrified my wife and daughter. But after being with me for 30 years, I thought my wife would probably sign me up for licking telephone poles, during COVID. But what the hell do I know?
Being the test.
Yeah, the
subject for Johnson and Johnson, perhaps. I'm just saying.
It's funny because the Johnson and Johnson, the one I got, is only supposed to be 67% effective. But I suspect that if COVID caught me, it would die. So I'm not really all that concerned.
There you go.
With that being said, Miss Rochon, it was an absolute, and all kidding aside, an absolute honor and pleasure to have you on the show tonight. I am an enormous fan. I really think you're awesome. We know a lot of the same people, and every one of them say nothing but nice. I'm not blowing smoke up your
I love you. I just want to say I love you, Shane Terry. Have to say that. I had to get that in there. I apologize. I know you're wrapping up.
You know what? I thought maybe you were going to say I love you, Dave Madison, so I could feel good about myself for a split second there. But some dude named Shane Terry gets all the love. And just like with all women who meet me, they look at other guys. Thank you so much for being on, Debbie, is what Sean Smithson said. He's a great guy. And please, if you ever have anything coming out, or if you just want to come on and schmooze, believe it or not, a lot of people watch this moronic show. I don't know why, but they do. And it's pretty awesome. And this October.
I'm going to pop on when that asshole comes on.
You know what?
And I'm going to have my T-shirt.
She literally, somebody on another on just a random horror Facebook site put up a meme that said post something that you cannot stand, and Tiffany Shepard's put my fucking picture up under it. I was like, really that's
you just outed her. No, I guess we did before because we showed the picture.
Yes. So she puts my picture.
I thought it was the unnameable, but she put your picture. That was
she put my picture as something she can't stand, and so then I put underneath it, that wonderful picture of like a witch that's crashed into a telephone pole.
Yep.
I said, I see you had an accident, Tiff, so I'm going to let you go on this one.
Yeah. But now you can throw around the AA.
Yes.
Just say, very AA of you.
Well, she's off. Hooting and hollering with the big stars. What can I tell you?
Yeah. She's breaking hearts every day, that one. I'm telling you. I know.
All kidding aside, I think she's awesome, even though she can't stand me. With that being said, Miss Rochon, thank you so much for joining us. Please become a friend of the show. Everybody who's on this show, we call part of the Indie Brigade family. So we're honored to have you on. Thank you. I'm sorry it wasn't an entertaining show tonight because Scott Schiaffo wasn't here and Brian wasn't here. You got stuck with the buffoon who just happens to be the host.
You guys are too concerned with who didn't show up, but not concerned with who did. Meaning Dave, Joe, and Debbie.
No. Debbie Rochon.
And all the great people talking to us.
Debbie, you didn't hear me once say that.
Debbie showed up and saved us from this miserable train wreck that it would have been. So I thank you, Debbie, for being awesome. And, you are, I would pay cash money to bring you and Dee Snider's show back. It was just fantastic. Except the episode, of course, that O'Halloran was on. That episode really just sucked. But every other episode was fantastic.
Yeah. Well, we got through that one, and that was a price we had to pay.
Brian brought it down. Brian brought it down and crashed and burned.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Miss Rochon. I will be in touch, and if you are interested in that big October thing, I'll let you know. But I would be honored to have you on. Yep.
Debbie, it was an honor. Thank you.
He's like, Joe's like, Debbie, it was an honor. I can't wait to have you on my show, meaning the Joe Ridgely show, when it'll actually be a coherent and good episode. Hey, Mr. Churchill, how's it go? How goes it? Another wonderful director. If you ever get to work with Thomas Churchill, great guy, good.
Yeah,
director.
I know Thomas for a lot of years. I've never worked with him, but I know Thomas for a lot of years. He's been around the block a lot of years.
Yes,
in the good way.
I know. I went to junior high with him.
Did you?
He was my 5th grade classmate.
Oh wow!
I don't know if he'd actually confirm that on here, but yeah, it was funny. I went to junior high school with Tom Churchill. I went to high school with. I'm having a brain fart. Okay, where I went to high school is not important, but I went to college.
You're saying that you and Church are the same age?
Yeah, isn't that poor
what
Church?
happened to you?
Oh, you son of a bitch. And I went to college, and I'm still dear friends with Jon Favreau. I'm older than you by 2 days, you prick. I was born on August 2nd, 1970, and he was born on August 4th. I can't remember. I was in elementary school. Whatever.
You're going overtime.
I'm going overtime. All right. I will let poor Miss Rochon off this train wreck so that she can go on and enjoy the rest of her evening.
Go and round up the moths.
Oh, August 4th. I was off by his date. He was born August 4th, and I was born August 2nd. So yeah, didn't I say August 4th? You're 32.
Yeah,
you have freaking socks that are 32, Churchill. Let poor Miss Rochon not have to suffer anymore. Debbie, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. All kidding aside,
Thanks
you're
for
awesome,
having me,
and I can't wait to see you out on the con circuit, and we can throw baloney at Tiffany or O'Halloran and whoever's around.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Debbie
ready.
Rochon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Good night.
Good night.
She was awesome.
She's beyond awesome. She's great. And if she's still like in the green room and can hear me, I'm going to apologize, Mr. Rochon, because I was totally off my game tonight. I'm overly giddy about a bunch of really, really cool stuff that's going on, and I should have been more professional. But everybody knows how awesome you are, so they don't need me to tell them. So, Mr. Ridgely, what do you think?
I think I won't play the wrong exit.
Dude, when that went on, I was like, wow.
It took me a second to catch it. I thought I deleted all that stuff. And I was just like, yeah, there was a brick somewhere that was laid. So
I don't know.
Yeah, that was bad. It's now deleted. It is definitely deleted. I don't even, again, know why it was there. But anyway, see, it's easy to change the subject with you. Dave, tell me about this.
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my new film that comes out this October called Full Moon Fever. Since we actually last convened on our show, when the lovely our last show was on, another major horror celebrity has come on board, and we're going to shoot some really cool stuff with them. So I'm super excited. Luciana, likely excuse. She's calling you out, Mr. Ridgely. She's literally calling you out.
I hear you. I just had to get that out. Calling me out. Whatever. I'm not trying to sabotage the show.
Oh, okay. Well, I have no idea. But again, yeah, we have a bunch of stuff going on, Joe. This October, I'm not going to tell anybody right off the top, but all kidding aside, it'll be something that you'll read in other publications. The enormous size of what we have going on Halloween night. It's taken months and months and months to put this together, but after the year we all had as a community of filmmakers, as just a community in general of people, I thought something really, really cool and special that everybody who watches this show can be a part of. if you want to come on while the show is on, we'll send you links, and you can express your thoughts on what's really happening on that episode. You'll see when it comes out, and this is a celebration of the horror genre, of Halloween, of everything that makes Halloween wonderful and special, and it sounds like it's like I'm doing a hard sell on something that's not going to live up to the hype, but I am really excited. I'm really excited about this, your new movie, and RPIB coming back. What is RPIB?
There's no RP anymore. It's just IB. IB is really not a good abbreviation, is it?
Yeah, we're excited. The IB is coming back. That I'm super excited. Joe has all kinds of tricks up his sleeve. I'm just a small town IBS. It's irritable bowel syndrome network. I'm just a small peddler on the side who's doing his goofy little train wreck of a show, and wherever Lord Ridgely decides to appoint it, I'm just kind of the guy. So, Mr. Ridgely, do you have anything you want to say in closing?
My wife tells me I need a haircut.
Okay, well, she's right. I was going to share with you guys this cool. I don't know if I had this on the show a long time ago, but I just found it when I was cleaning up my room, and I'll talk about it next week. But the Amazing Spider. Did I ever talk about this on the show before? The Amazing Spider-Man album.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, next week when you tune in, and we're having a pretty amazing and epic guest next week too. I will talk about this. I think it was from 1967, and I'm not going to open it up now. I'll save that for next week. But I had all kinds of cool stuff I was going to talk about in the beginning, but I got long-winded with other crap I was talking about. But that's a little teaser for next week, and an amazing guest. And I will have better hair next week too, because I need to get a haircut desperately. I'm starting to look like a schlub. And
hey.
Who's the hay for?
Got to get a haircut because you're starting to look like a schlump.
A
Gotta
schlump.
Be saying bye.
She's like, I've had enough of this schmuck. With that being said, Joe, is there anything you want to say in passing?
No, because
you look,
it was a great show.
You looked all disoriented and discombobulated.
Well, I'm looking at Debbie in the green room, and
if you want to wait one more minute, Debbie, before I sign off, if you want to say, she's gone already.
No.
Okay, we're going to be signing off for 1 minute. We could say hello again. With that being said, we'll see you guys next Sunday night at 10 o'clock. The show took a little 2-week hiatus because of my daughter's graduation and because of 4th of July, but we're back to haunt you again, and we have all kinds of fun. Grunkle Scott should be back from he should be out on parole for whatever he's doing with Kevin Smith, and maybe Grunkle Brian will be on. Who knows what mayhem is going to ensue, but remember, this is really the October thing I can't talk about enough. With that being said, let me see which way you're there. And I'm going to point at my friend right here. No man is a failure who has friends. We'll see you guys next Sunday.